and a pretty consistent site actually, which I think plays an important role in, at Felton Road. In cool years, you can see it's reasonably exposed to sort of the prevailing winds coming up from the south there, or from the north down the lake. So in cooler years, it's probably it tends to be picked towards the end of harvest, whereas in sort of a warmer year, when it's not exposed to that weather, it can be the first picked.
So that whole stretch over there's Cornish Point then?
Yeah. So you can see where the house is.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the entrance. And you sort of come around the little peninsula there.
What's the house? Whose is that?
Oh, that's not ours. There are a couple of houses over there, sort of residential, so to speak. Compost. So what we try to do, without getting too cute, is when we press off all the individual ferments, we try to sort of, Gareth tries to distribute it evenly. If we've got happen to pressed off two or three sort of Cornish Point lots, then that mark will go back to Cornish Point. So and so compost at all three sites, and then sort of obviously the preps, and distributed to that site.
Do you make your own preps?
We don't. We buy in preps. We're in the process of making our own prep shed, so we're going to move off in that direction. Okay, so block 13, so Pinot Noir, basically the winery, and then block 1 over the back there is our Riesling. It's on a heavier soil, so it produces probably a more interesting, or a more structured Riesling. So we bottle that separately.
It's a nice spot, isn't it?
Lovely. Probably stony gravels, lake bed sediments. So that's where you'll find a lot of our Riesling and our Block 2 Chardonnay, which tends to be our block Chardonnay wine. Whereas the heavier soils, or the deeper soils, the Waianga soils, which is parent rock of schist, loess, quartz alluvials, etc., through here, through up the back there, we've planted Pinot. So this is block 3 and block 5 in front on this gentle slope.
And over here, up here is...
Up here, we are going into... You can't quite see it, but there is a fence. So that's the sea of grapes that you see up there is not entirely ours. If you basically draw a line on the right side of that tree is Felton Road. On the other side is some holdings by Mount Difficulty. And see, these plantings were planted later on, and we're still too carried away. It would be also a shame to go the other direction or have all that hard work take place in the vineyard and come in here and us throw everything but the kitchen sink out. It wouldn't sort of, wouldn't be, I suppose, that respectful.
Terroir's quite fragile, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.